Okay. So, question: who is an anāgami? Simple question.
Only anāgami can tell.
No. I and Shane, forget it. That's
How
not.
can I? How can I tell it? Miss,
No. What makes an anāgami?
we understood that Nirod Samapatti, who can do or who attend. That's the one thing we understood.
But what about the fetters?
Ramachandran Vyapat is no more additional to other three.
Okay, 5 fetters. Good. Nice. So let's take an example of a child of 1 year, 2 years. Isn't the child an anāgami? No. Why?
Because he is in avijja.
No, I'm talking about anāgami, not arhat. Avijja is there in anāgami. I'm talking only today about anāgami, not about anything else.
Still he has a desire. Still he has a desire to
No,
eat
he doesn't
something.
have anything. Let's take a 1 year old, 6 months child, 6 months baby. Does it have kamachanda? No.
Yeah, Ramachandra and Dilwil is there. Yeah, because they are attached to sense organs. 6 sense organs they are attached.
What is kamachanda? The highest kamachanda is sexuality. It doesn't have. Okay. Then vyapada. Can that poor 6 months year old hit or shout or go out of home and kick its parents and elders and all that? So vyapada is not there. Does it have doubts? No. No visikiccha. Does it have sakkaya? No. It doesn't even know where it is. Forget about knowing this is myself, this is how I am, this is so and so. Nothing it knows. Okay. And then does it have Sila Vikta Paramasa? It believes in rituals, it will go to a monastery, it will go to a temple, it will go to Gurudwara, it will go to some other place or a church. So why do you think this cannot be a anāgami?
Sir, child has latent tendencies, sir. Means
That is fine. Presently, as a 6 months child, it is anāgami. It is literally behaving like an anāgami. When it grows,
Yes, avijja.
when it grows, it will come. That's fine. May come, may not come. It might not even live till that long. Is there a guarantee the child can live up to 100 years? No. They say after 6 months it dies. Isn't it dead as a anāgami?
no, sir.
Why?
Because other latent tendencies and other fetters in the mind, sir. Actually.
Fine. Let the fetters be in the mind. That's absolutely fine. As long as the child doesn't showcase anything, it's fine. There's a sutta for that. Yes, Veena, go ahead. If any one of
Ignorance is there and it doesn't know what is what, thus only it has born. And moreover, we can't predict it is like that way. That child only knows whether what it is and how it is and we can't define whether it is there or not. The mind only knows what it is going through.
Number one, anāgami has nothing to do with avidya or ignorance. Nothing to do with it. If you say anāgami shouldn't have ignorance or avidya, that means he's an arhat. So no, there's no need for saying ignorance. You can't construct something just for you like Buddha Dhamma. Okay, a Sotapanna has ignorance, Sakadagami has ignorance, Anagami also has ignorance. Only an Arhat doesn't have ignorance. Yes, sir, you go ahead.
I thought even 6-month-old can exhibit some anger. That they can cry in anger. It can even hit or bite or do something.
It is crying out of anger. No, it is crying out of frustration because it is hungry. Take a 3 month child. Okay, now Veena is a mother, Archana is a mother, and so many people are mother. They know when the child was given to them in their hand, did they showcase anything which told that their children will become like this or like that? No, that poor child doesn't know anything. Forget child, forget human child. Take a tiger cub. Right? It is a three-day-old tiger cub. Will it bite? No. Will it shout? No. It will be so small and so cute. You can touch it anywhere you want and it will do whatever you want it to do. Right? Tiger. We're talking about tiger. We're talking about lion, hyena, or crocodile, or any animal which is a day or 2 or 5 or a 10-day-old, even a dog, puppies, even the ferocious dogs, the most ferocious kind. If you pick them up, they will not exhibit anything. Have you ever tried? You can bring a small crocodile, a small, even a venomous snake, the most venomous snake. It takes 15 days for them to get their teeth. Till that time, they don't bite, and then you can basically play with them. Forget humans. Okay, at least humans are slightly evolved. What about these animals and reptiles and birds? Small birds. They don't fly. They don't go anywhere. They'll be there wherever you want. They will be there.
Attachment we can see with them.
Veena, if you are unattached, then you are an arhat, my dear lady. And in fact, no child has an attachment. Have you seen any child being attached? No, whoever gives it food, it will go to them. Let us say a nurse or some other mother is able to breastfeed and it keeps, the child will keep on drinking milk from that mother or that lady. He doesn't even know that it is my mother. Does it know it is my mother? Will it come walking saying, "Mommy, mommy," like that? No.
So he is very close to anāgami, but definitely not because he can create a desire.
When his
Because,
faculties grow, that is correct, Ashwin. That is, when the child becomes an adult, when it becomes a teenager or an adult, then all the faculties are developed. At present, no faculty is developed. So, isn't it true that that child is an anāgami? And if you say no, what is the difference between a child and an anāgami? If you say yes, there is a difference, can you tell me the difference? But don't manufacture differences. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. That's all. So don't create just for the sake of argument or just for the sake of you want Dhamma, so you keep on adding one flavor or the other. No, no flavored milk. If you know, you know. You don't know, you don't know.
Sir, child has samyojana, anusaya, and other defilements, sir. But anagami has removed.
Even anāgami has, for that matter, he has 5 fetters, 5 big fetters that will never go. It's there. What do you mean samyojana is not there? There is. I'm talking about anāgami. I'm not talking about arhat. You can't reply
Means,
arhat.
means child has like
What?
actually all the fetters, but anagami removed 5 lower fetters.
That is separate. That is okay. Isn't it that the child displays as good as an arhat? Sorry, as good as an anāgami, because he doesn't have such thing. Self view itself is not there. If it had a self view, it wouldn't have gone to anyone, any other person. Let's take a child, his mother is not there. His some other lady who is able to breastfeed gives her breast, it will start sucking. That means it doesn't have a self view. By that, you can prove it doesn't have a self view. If it has a self view, it will recognize this is my mother, this is not my mother. That my will come then. So that's what self view is. So that thing is itself not there. So there's no self view. Does it go to temple or to church or to mosque or to a gurudwara or to a monastery or to wherever? No. Does it light candles or lamps or this or that? Does it prostrate? Does it do something? Does it say iti piso bhagava, blah blah, all that? No. It doesn't have sila vitta paramasa. Okay. Then does it have doubts? Any kind of doubt? No, it doesn't have any doubt. In fact, it is the most doubtless thing. You put wherever you put it, it will be there. You put it in a small, case, it will stay there. If you put it in a cradle, it will be there. If you hold it in your arms, it will be there. Same with dogs, cat, hyenas, crocodile, tigers, lion, leopards. Take any. It's the same. If you want, you can try it out and see. I'm not joking. It works that way. You go to Nagarhole National Park and play with them. Yes, Bobby, go ahead.
Yes, you just now you said this frustration is there is frustration for anāgami.
I'm not saying there is a frustration for anāgami or not. Don't misunderstand my question. My question is
No. Just now when somebody was saying, you said that the child is
frustration for the
crying.
child. The child is frustrated. It is hungry. So it
So that's what I'm asking. When I saw some children or my own children, when we observe them, when they don't get what they want, from when they're babies, when small babies, they're showing signs of frustration by crying deeply. And,
yeah, that's the
keep
only
on
way they
doing.
can show. Yeah, but they
Yeah.
are asking for food.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that asking for some sickness or
Yes.
many reasons, they show that frustration very strongly. So
Yes.
that is only way I know I can understand that they have some kind of vyapata is there.
Okay,
But
now
other than that, I don't know.
let me ask you a counter question. When in the Pachavekana, what does Buddha says? To let go of the old feeling, the fatigue, right, which is happening for hunger, right, and then for clothes you are wearing for removing the fatigue, right, and then for staying in the room, and then medicines.
Yeah. So, and these things, a person who is developed, they can show some kind of restraint. That's what I understand, because if they don't get for maybe if they're hungry also, if they don't get for some time,
No, no.
they will. Sorry.
Not at all. Not at all. And on the contrary, the person will start searching for food and he carries his arms bowl wherever the food is.
Can they do for maybe one day without doing that? But child is very spontaneous. If they're hungry,
Yeah,
they will
because they're
start
small.
crying.
They're small. They're small. See, their faculties are not developed, so they'll show the way they want to show. And in a monk, the faculties are developed, so he will go elsewhere because he can think, he can see where he can get food. If one household doesn't give him food, he'll go to another household for begging. He will not feel upset that this family has not given him food, but he'll go to the next household. Why should he go to the next household? He should stay hungry.
No, yeah, that's what. Okay, so they can stay hungry for 1 day or 2 days if they want, I think.
Oh, fine. They can even stay for hungry forever and die. Why they should ask for food?
What I'm saying, a child cannot do that. A child has
Child
to.
is small, Bobby. Child is small. But my question is, isn't it showing the same exact thing of an anāgami?
Bit more grosser, not like, bit
Forget
more
about
grosser.
gross or subtle. No, Bobby, it's got nothing to do with gross or subtle. If you really see a child, if you have seen a child, except for it is hungry, when it shows tantrums, or when it is sick, what other time does it do?
See, when I observe Ashley and Annabelle, from my own example, whatever they have shown as a very small, like babies, that time, that tendencies are there even now. This is what, even during the sleep or, they're crying and all these things, if I really observe, because I was with them, so I've seen that, the tendencies are still continuing, that more, whoever is more calm or more getting angry, that is continuing now. So that
Right.
makes me to feel like that.
Right, I agree. So let's say I give in and say I agree. Then what's the difference between a child and an anāgami?
Anāgami definitely has more sense restraint. It is more obvious, that is what I feel whenever I see a person who is developed in their faculties. They have more sense restraint. It is not, they can remain calm for, a long period of time. Because even the basic food and all what you're saying, they can, if they don't get immediately, they will not show that frustration. They can just be relaxed. They will not see searching food. They have developed what you're saying. I understand, but what I am saying is that if they don't get for all day, they remain calm. But a child, if they don't get immediately, they will show that anger or frustration, keep crying for long time. Even if they get a small pain or sickness, they will show that immediately. But whereas an anāgami or a developed meditator will show that they can tolerate that for a long time.
Yes, Bobby, it is because their faculties are developed. See, the six senses in a child is not developed. Any animal, any bird, any human, whatever you take, they have not developed. So they have to go by the elementary state of showing whatever they want to show. They can't sit and talk to you saying that, hey, Dad, I'm feeling hungry, so should I go and eat now or should I eat later? That's not possible. Okay. If they're peeing in their place, they get it wet, so they feel irritated by that wetness, so they cry.
Yeah, this is the only observation I can make, Vilashi. Other than that, I don't know.
Yes, that's correct. So there is, in fact, do you know a sutta for this Buddha? Sorry, not Buddha, Bobby. There's a sutta for this.
You told many times childlike behavior, So
No. That is Bala and Pandita. I'm not talking Bala and Pandita. There is a particular sutta for this child, comparing with.
Oh, is it one that one person? Oh, sorry, that is like blind and
No.
somebody is deaf. Yeah, that is different, I think. Yeah, sorry.
Not there. Okay, no problem. Yes, Harry, because you both are on hunting for sutta. So, Harry, do you have any idea on the sutta? If you don't have, don't worry. I'll give it for you after I finish the whole discourse. Okay? And after I finish, and then you will come to know who is an anāgami and who is not. After that, we'll do it. I'll give you the sutta and you can refer to it. because I didn't give you initially because then you get colored by that. I don't want any coloring. So let's have a discussion and then we can share it and how to practice. So then, what's the difference between a child and a adept? Before we go to the child, leaving the child, you have to ask one question. Does the child have 10 immoral deeds? And the answer is no. Does it kill anyone? No. Does it steal? No. Does it do sexual misconduct or even sexual intercourse? No. Does it lie? No. Does it slander? No. Does it, harsh speech? No. Does it talk nonsense? No. Does it have this cowardice? No. Does it have ill will against others? No. Does it have michaditti, wrong view? And the answer is no. Can anyone prove to me otherwise? Seeing their children who were less than a year old, let's say, were killing, were stealing, were having sexual intercourse or sexual misconduct, or were lying, or were slandering, like that. If yes, then fine. Yes, Chirag.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this ill will part, and I was thinking that a child does not have a concept of the other. So, since, if I'm correct, so let's say if there is no other, there's no one to direct that ill will towards. Is that true?
Yes, because there is no concept of self itself. So there's nothing to have ill will. You'll get only ill will when you have a concept of self, and there's no concept of self. There's a question of being ill will. So my question to all of you is, you've seen your children, you yourself a child. Did you or your child ever display while they were children? Say 1 year old also, even a 2-year-old, most of them. Unless they are introduced, they are conditioned, they don't have any one of this. In fact, the most pious of them, whatever you say to them, they will follow that. If you say Jesus exists, they believe that. If they say Ram exists, they believe that. If they say Allah is great, they believe that. If they say Gurudwara, that means Guru Gobind Singh or whatever is the greatest, they believe that. If they say that you are a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or a Hebrew or this or that or whatever, they go by that. They have no concept of anything. If there was a concept, then only they have an intent to do something. And then that forms into killing or stealing or sexual misconduct or lying or treachery or slandering, etc., etc. In fact, they are the purest. Unless there are exceptions to the rule that even a 1-month child displayed all of this. It was able to speak, it was able to tell lies, slander, do all of that, and kill a human being. Okay. In fact, if it kills some ant or something, it doesn't even know what it is. It has no intention to kill. Something is moving, it just puts its hand. And if something bites, it cries. What do you think? Doesn't that take him to an anāgami level? Before we really go into the Buddha Dhamma, this is thought, this is for reflection. And that sutta which I'm going to give you in the end is for anāgami only. So that then you are confirmed what I'm saying. Yes, Anusha.
A child has no awareness, right? Sati, whereas anāgami has pristine sati.
No, madam. If there is no sati, then it can't even cry. It can't even feel anything. Sati means awareness. It is aware. It is aware of the external condition. It's aware of the internal condition. So when it urinates or vomits or something, it cries. That's the only way it can say that, look, I am in trouble. Can you help me? So the mother then attends to it. I think we all have children, so we have not really observed is what I think. Or maybe somebody had a different kind of a child. Yes, Chirag, go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking about the similarity and the difference between, let's say, an anāgami and child, and I think the difference is probably that, for a child, the consciousness is of a pre-conceptual stage. The child doesn't have any concepts, whereas for an anāgami, there are concepts, but the anāgami knows that the concepts are not real.
Yeah, by that token, since he doesn't have concepts and anāgami has removed the concept, aren't they both the same?
Right, in that way, I think so.
Yes.
So child has no sati sampajanna. That's the word I wanted to say. Sati sampajanna is different to a child and an
Another
anāgami,
concept.
right?
That's another concept. That's it. We are adding concepts over concepts and making it look different, so to say. See, let's try to prove without getting attached to anything. Okay? No attachment to the Pali words or to meanings or to definition, etc. Those are all concepts. Let's take a child. If you had a child and you observed your child properly, when they were born, start with this. Did they kill any human or animals? By their volition, I will to kill. No. I will to steal. No. I will to have sexual misconduct or sexual intercourse. No. I will to lie. No. I will to slander. No. Venugopal, we are not talking about external appearance. It's a habitual pattern. Have you not seen a child? Then I have a doubt that you have never seen a child. Why don't you go somewhere and watch a child? It's not external appearance. If you have seen a child yourself and you have been there with it, you will know. Has it done any immoral deed? Have you seen?
No, sir, but internal things.
No but. Sorry, we are restricting a child. No but. There's nothing called but. Just answer to me in a proper way. Have you seen any child killing, stealing, sexual misconduct or sexual intercourse, lying, slandering, harsh speech, and then frivolous speech, or just for speak for something, then abhiccha, wanting somebody's to be mine, vyapa, the ill will. Have you seen anything like that? I don't think so.
No, sir.
At least I have not seen. I have not seen even a single child. My son, I have never seen. My brother's daughter, I have never seen. I have not seen my younger brother. Maybe in some families it might be. From your answers, it seems like somebody might be having. In that case, Buddha is wrong. He should have now established here in this situation and try to see, yes, it is indeed, I was wrong, that even the child for 6 months, 1 year old can kill, can steal, can have sexual intercourse and all that. Maybe in next few millennia it might happen, because as the age decreases, the 5-year-old will be pregnant. So then, or they will become adults, and by 10 they will have children. Then maybe, okay. But at present, as we look at it, Venugopal, life being like 80 to 100 years of age, have you seen a single child doing like that in your thing? Don't get attached
No,
to
sir. What you said is right, sir. But every child has different karma.
No, that you leave. I'm just asking a simple question. Have you seen a child of 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, who has displayed all the 10 immoral deeds or even one immoral deed? Okay, one. Does it have a self view? No. Does it have doubts? No. Does it have rituals? No. Does it have kamachanda? No. Does it have vyapada? No. So my simple question is, if this child doesn't have anything, doesn't it qualify to be an anāgami? This is the exact question what Buddha asked. For that matter, I'll give you the sutta later. See, if your answer is no, what do you think is the difference between a child and an anāgami is my next question. If you say, yeah, I know what is the difference, I want to know the difference. That's my thing. I'm not saying that child equals anāgami. No, I'm not saying that. But isn't it true, if we see a child showcases almost all the qualities of an anāgami, after it grows, it will become something that you leave it. In that way, a tiger will become a tiger after it grows. A lion will become a lion after it grows. A hyena becomes a hyena after it grows. In the same way, human will have her own thing coming up when the faculty grows. That means if the faculty is not grown, right, or like what Chirag exactly said, is if the faculty is not having conceptualization, it will not show anything at all. And when coming to defilements, there are 4 defilements. So let me cover that up, because I think somebody will answer using defilement. There's only 4 defilements. One is avijja, okay, that is the asava. Second one is dhikti asava. Third one is kamasava. Fourth one is bhavasava. You see a child, has it ever looked into, I want to become this bhavasava? No. Avijja asava is going to be there. So even an anāgami has avijja. So don't bring avijja there. Okay, so throw that, keep it aside. Kamasava, has it having any kama? No, the poor child, what does it know? It just cries, does whatever it should do. That's all. So kamasava. It doesn't have bhavasava. Can you ask a child for 6 months, what do you want to become, my dear child? No. Dhikti asava, that child doesn't have any dhikti. No dhikti. If you just take the child and put it somewhere, to an orphanage, doesn't even know. Have you not seen? Like somebody kidnaps the child, small child. It will grow whatever, wherever, whomever takes it. But a bigger child, 10-year-old, 15-year-old, it will not go because the faculty is developed. So supposing if the child were to be non-conceptualized, would it not become an anāgami? Is another way to see it. Because now what are we doing? We have conceptualized, we are removing the concepts. We first have conceptualized. Now we are removing the concept. And since the concepts are getting broken, isn't it become childlike now? Got the point? If I were to say you are neither a Hindu, nor a Muslim, nor a Christian, nor a Jew, nor a Buddhist, nor a Jain, nor this, that's a true fact. Because as a child, you were never a Hindu or a Muslim or this or that. You were nothing. Now today, what are we saying? Leave all signs. Sanya. First you make a sanya. And now you teach that person to remove sanya. Right? Now, as a child, it never killed anyone. Now, as an adult, it killed. Now you are telling him that you shouldn't kill because of so and so. His sanya is changed from killing to non-killing, from stealing to non-stealing, from sexual misconduct to non-sexual misconduct, from lying to not lying. Correct? You are doing the same thing, right? Just think. What are we starting Buddha Dhamma with? 10 immoral deeds removing. As a child, did it have 10 immoral deeds? No. Think. Just don't get associated or lean towards Buddha Dhamma just because it makes sense. No, never. Middle path. Middle path. No line, no going this way or that way. You should be so firm. That's like what Buddha says. The filament, that lamp shouldn't shake. Chittam yasya na kampati. No kampana, no shaking like this. Then you have learned it. Yes, Aryu. 1 second, let me finish with Venugopal. So that's what it is, Venu. I'm not saying Arhat, Anāgami equals child, or child equals Anāgami. So Bobby, for you also, and for Venu, and also for Anusha, and Chirag, if he has this. I am not trying to say Anāgami and child are the same. But isn't it displaying the same thing if we just take 5 fetters? That if we measure an Anāgami by 5 fetters, saying that he will not have Kamachanda, he will not have Vyapada, he will not have this one, what is the Sila Vitta Paramasa, then he will not have Sakkaya Ditti, he will not have Visikicha. Child also has the same thing. In fact, there's a sutta for that. I'm going to prove to you. It's there. Buddha asked the same question. And he blasts the monk who says, this is what you taught me. I'm going to share that with you after this, after we never finish. If we cannot finish today, we'll finish it tomorrow and then I'll share the sutta for you. Don't worry. You'll get exact sutta. And you can read in whichever language you want. But the thing you need to know, if you go by 5 fetters, a child equals Anāgami. It's not my words. It's not my words. It's there in the sutta. When you read, you will see it. So don't misrepresent me also, saying that, oh, Vilas said like this. No, it's there in the sutta. Why it is there in the sutta is because they both display the same characteristics. That's the reason. It's there. Okay, good, Venu. Appreciate it. Let's see what Aryu has to say. Yes, Aryu.
Yeah, I don't think anything too innovative to say, but a child is liable to be corrupted, but an anāgami isn't, right?
After his faculties have grown here, I'm telling again and again, you all are going to the adult side of it and then saying that, yeah, obviously, because that child is conditioned now by the environment factors, his family, his friends, his upbringing, situations, etc. So he collects all of these dirt. But as a child, it has not. Are we willing to accept it is my question. Or we still have confusion that no, it is not. You should look at it at that age, tender age. Don't make it bigger, like an adult. Yeah, at adult it will change, absolutely. Beyond doubt. And not at adult, at 10 years itself will change. 15 years it will be even more. 20 years, 25, 30, like that. It'll keep on changing. Absolutely true. Even if you call its name, it won't even know, for that matter. Anyone would like to argue with me? Yes, Shreyas.
So, if we do take that, like again, by the measure of the fetters, if we say, for example, the child passes away, will it be born in a Brahma realm? Is that the right way to say it, or like, are there more parameters?
We are going beyond simile.
Okay. Okay.
Let's stick to the simile. Yes, Mangala, you had raised your hand.
I was just thinking about a movie which was conceptualized, on that Mowgli movie. He is not conditioned to the worldly ways, and we wouldn't still call him an anāgami. He is not named, and he has not been. He doesn't have those 10. Evils. So I think that would also be a good comparison that he is, it's a story on the Mowgli movie we all know. So he has not sinned. So what would you, how would you?
I don't know, you are saying, so you should say what's the difference then between an anāgami and the child.
Yeah, of course. This is, I think, anāgami means he has controlled and he has made an effort to, transcend himself. That is what, I feel.
Mangala, you answer me one thing.
Yeah.
Now you conceptualize yourself as Mangala.
Yeah.
Myself is Mangala, my eyes are Mangala's eyes, ears are Mangala's ears, like that. Now you give up that. That will remove the self-view, right?
Yeah.
The child also doesn't have that, correct?
Yes.
So first you conceptualize and then you remove the concept. Isn't that what is happening? Right?
Yes.
First you conceptualize. The child doesn't know. The child doesn't know. The poor child doesn't know.
Yes.
So what you do? You first make it conceptualize.
Right.
And then you bring in something called spirituality and say that you now remove the concept.
Right.
Isn't it idiotic?
I can't comment on that.
Exactly.
Yes, it is that way.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
See, first you say there is no sakkaya ditthi, self-view. Okay. The child doesn't have sakkaya ditthi. That poor child doesn't even know what it is, right? gives to this mother, it will suck from her breast. If it gives to that mother, it will suck from that breast. If it give it to somebody else, it will do whatever it is supposed to do. If you make it stay with the monkey, it will copy from the monkey.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that
Yeah.
means it doesn't have any self-view.
Very true.
Right. So if a child were to be left with a monkey for 10 years, it will start showing the traits of a monkey.
Yeah, that is what that movie Mowgli, that is
Exactly.
what I point
And
out.
in reality also that's how it works.
Yes, yes.
Right. So that means if you see the brain, if you see the neurons, if you see how they are connecting, whatever behavior it sees, it copies.
Right.
Right? So it copies from the mother, it copies from the father, or from uncle or aunt, or this and that, and the environment, and it makes itself one view. This is me.
Yes.
At the age of whatever, we are bringing in Buddha Dhamma and saying that this is not you,
Yes.
which is making it like childlike now, back.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Honestly, if you really see.
Yes.
So, being a child, is it not a right candidate for anāgami?
The awareness is missing, probably.
Why? Who says? It is having awareness of the environment. As an anāgami also, it has the same. See, tell me, what does an anāgami has and doesn't have? He doesn't have self-view. Right? He doesn't have faith or belief in rituals. He doesn't have any doubts. He doesn't have ill will towards others. He doesn't have kamachanda. That means, being an adult, he doesn't feel like sexually attracted to a woman or whatever it is. Right? He's given up. Basically, it's an adult child.
Yes.
Right? So, from the neural networks, the network of A and B, which was connecting like this, is now disconnected.
Yes.
In its place, A is connected to C. B being a behavioral pattern created due to environment, and then somebody told it that no, this is a wrong thing. It started working. He started working and working and working, he or she. Then they disconnected this connection between A and B. So it first became slightly weaker and weaker, and when it became weaker, it first lost the self view, and hence there is no rituals, and then hence there are no doubts. So the three lower fetters are gone, and somebody came and told that, Vilas, congrats, you are now Sotapanna. Ha, so nice. But it's a perception. Please remember.
Yeah.
So that's a reward system. And reward system means dopamine is there, serotonin is there, oxytocin is there, endorphins are there. Right?
Right.
All these are getting released. It was getting released as a child also, by the way. It was not that it was not there and now it is there. It was there even as a child. Dopamine is there, so it has a rewarding system. So a small child comes and say, "Mummy, good. My child is talking, Mummy." So the mother is very happy and the child feels happy. Why? The dopamine is extracted. Because dopamine is extracted, serotonin comes, and serotonin comes, oxytocin comes, and it forgets the pain, which is learning pain. So that means endorphins are getting released. So the cortisol level is going down. So it feels happy. So it got into happiness. We can say chemical. We can call it as a happy chemical, and cortisol is an unhappy chemical.
Yes.
Right? So a child is displaying the same thing, Mangala, and an anāgami is also doing the same thing.
Very
Right?
true.
So his dopamine is at the highest, his serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins are there. So he's able to take care of the world without getting upset. Upset means cortisol.
Very true.
Right. So please prove me if I'm wrong on the brain side also.
No, you're correct.
I'm correct. Okay. Because you're a doctor, so I'm just asking because I'm a layman. I'm not a qualified doctor on any neural thing or how the neuroscience works.
Here I would like to point out that, the spirituality that you are shouldering is much older and more experienced than the recent medical, medicine.
I knew that.
So I still feel very humble. I mean, I still feel that there is a lot to learn for me in spite of being a doctor. We have just cut open, cadavers and people and all. It is more physical. And we still have to go a long way in recognizing the spiritual causes of disease. The whole world, I feel. So let me tell you that I'm humbled in front of you, in front of the knowledge that exists and what you are trying to give to us. So
Sure. Thank you. So basically, I will end at 9:30. So
yes,
basically, and tomorrow we'll take the remaining. So we'll also talk about jhanas because that is one another subject which Anush had asked about because anāgami is one of the main accomplishment is the jhanas. So we will see from both neuroscience perspective and in real sense how it works and what's the difference it makes between a child and a anāgami. So right now, let's continue our discussion. Now, if you see, what are we bringing to is back to the childlike state of the mind when it was pure. Initially, it was pure. If you say, no, it was corrupted from the beginning, then I'm very sad to say you have never understood a child. If somebody here in the group says that my child was killing, my child was stealing, my child was doing all of this as a child, then they have a very different child. Is there any child you have seen in that way, having 4 verbal misconduct, 3 physical misconduct, and 3 mental misconduct? I'll give another 5 minutes if you want. If you want to think and say, yeah, I have seen one child. No, right? Bobby, you have 2 children. Have you ever seen your children doing like that?
I think this mental misconduct is there. Well, I see that's what I.
Abhijit, you mean to say Annabelle and Ashley wanted whatever somebody has as theirs when they were 6 months old or 3 months old or 1 day old or even 1 year old?
Yeah, maybe some toys or I see them fighting or something.
At what age? 1 month old?
Yeah, no, not 1 month. 1 month it might be some maybe milk bottle or I don't know. If you are not getting, if you want to sleep with the mother, and if she's gone.
That is not abhijja. You know what is abhijja by definition, Bobby? It is like saying, I should get fast before others and let it be mine. And when the self-view itself is not there, Bobby, how can they get it?
No, see, that you said like children's mind is at that age, they will go with anyone. But they seems to be like if it is with their mother, it's the first time in few months, and they are very attached to that, and if somebody else is doing that.
Attachment will go at arhat, Bobby. Even
no, I'm not talking about attachment. What I'm saying is, because of that particular quality, they don't want to share it. And if they do that, they are getting some irritation. So that
That's
I
fine.
noticed. Yeah.
No,
So
that is
that
fine.
irritation I'm talking about. Irritation is vyabhada. Right?
Irritation
So
has
that,
got nothing to do with ill will. Vyapada means the original ill will. And when a child develops, it will have irritation, agitation, all of that, which also comes as part of Vyapada family. But in real,
what about crying for a long time for sometimes,
yeah,
what is
it should have spoken and it cannot speak, so it cries. What else you think it should do?
Is it anger?
No.
No? Okay.
At a 1 year age also, there is no anger as anger. They don't know what to be done. They are literally what we can say so much. Maybe Mangala can speak on that because she's a doctor, and I don't think so. Any child less than 1 year or even 2 years of age can display something like an adult kind of rage and anger and ill will and all of that.
Yeah, no, not very personal. Yeah.
No, genetically they have found some genes, which, some people are prone to doing crimes, and those genes do exist, but they are not exhibited in childhood.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
the neuroplasticity, which you have also talked so often, the neuroplasticity is not developed at that age. It's a uh, very basic neural network in the brain. So
Yeah,
they cannot exhibit even the criminal, which nature has given them a criminal gene. Like some people, they have found that they are genetically prone to committing crimes, but that cannot be expressed as a child.
exactly. It requires a condition to basically develop. And 1 second, Ari, before I give it to you, I'll answer to Bobby before I forget. Another thing about neural thing, Bobby, is that the network, when it happens, there is a place called amygdala. Okay, there is fear, insecurity, and that is there for every being, irrespective it's a deva or a brahma or a human or an animal or a bird or an insect or whatever it is. That is going to be there. So out of fear, they will cry because coming from amygdala. If you want, you can read a lot of on amygdala. Maybe Mangala can talk more about amygdala, where all of these basic instincts are there. So basically, Bobby, if you have misunderstood, it is the basic instinct with which the child is crying, not because of any kind of immoral deeds.
So in that case, we will wait for tomorrow because anyway you are not going to disclose the suspense, right? And also you will not tell the sutta also. So we will wait for tomorrow.
No, I'm not going to give the sutta till I end it and you accept or reject. And when you reject, I'll throw the sutta.
No, I accepted the defeat at this stage.
No problem. We'll see it. We'll see it then. Yes, sir, you go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just to
You're on mute.
Oh, yeah, sorry, just to clarify the understanding that I got from this discussion, because I think we all can observe like some different nature in the baby. Some are crying louder, some more, fears and all that, but those are primarily due to fear, and the level of frustration may be different, but it doesn't mean anger as such. So,
No, they don't display. They don't display rage. They don't display like what Mangala said is very true. There are genetic things like rage is one of the genetic thing, basic genetic thing. Okay, that's got nothing to do with the that child. It's genetic disposition. Anxiety is another one which is genetically coming. Third one is criminal. What she said is perfectly right. Criminal mind or criminal way of looking at things only comes due to genetics. So it flows from there. The child doesn't even know that it is genetic. So at that age, it literally doesn't have. I might misunderstand it to be actually showcasing any kind of criminal thing, but it is not. It only difference here, Aryu, is the kind of fear. That's only difference. So amygdala, where all of these things are there, and Mangala can correct me on amygdala also, that is where it displays everything. So there may be some variations here and there. Yeah, some child, like you rightly said, some child will cry a lot, another child might not cry a lot. A child might be smiling a lot, another one will be frowning, but it's coming from amygdala basically than its own nature. It doesn't have its own nature in the first place. It doesn't have self-view. Only when the self-view is developed, you create your own nature. Otherwise, there's nothing called my own nature. So no child has a self-view. Please remember, if you want, you can mark it and keep it. Even are you at this stage when your son doesn't have a full developed self-view, you can modify him the way you want. And that's the reason your ex-wife keeps on saying that she wants to develop him in this way and that way, because it can be modified. After it becomes a teenager, the modification almost reduces to none, to can't. Before that, you can modify. That means you can modify means what? The self-view is not developed. Think it over. So Luke, you can change him. Yes.
But even we are modifying ourselves by mimicking you and mimicking these saints.
Yeah, you're not doing that, right? You're not doing it. You're now mimicking. That means mimicking is part of human nature. That means you can, like what Mangala rightly said, neuroplasticity. Okay, that is what we're developing now. But as a child, there's no need for that. It's still growing. Yes, Praharsh.
Sir, my limited understanding says that in a child, these traits aren't completely uprooted still. But when you talk about the anāgami, because of meditation and wisdom, they have completely uprooted the traits that we are talking about, right? And there's no going back.
Praharsh, I am talking about, again, I clarify for all of you, clarify, see the child. Isn't it displaying some of the traits as an anāgami? And what is an anāgami doing? Is to let go of all of this. Isn't he coming back to a childlike state? If not, which will go tomorrow, is, and what's the difference between a child and an anāgami? Anybody else would like to fight with me? See, today I have kept my what we can say. I have tucked my shirt like this so I can sit and fight.
Nobody fighting with you, Vilas.
No. I'm just trying to make it more what we can say fun than anything else. So do you notice this? You don't have to accept it, what I'm saying at face value. Have you noticed it? Notice it. It's all about observation. I'm trying to help you with vipassana, observation, or basically investigation, and become a mimamsa. You have to develop a faculty called mimamsa, investigative faculty, wherein you don't take even Buddha Dhamma at face value. And that's the reason he says in Kalama Sutta, don't say because I am saying so. Don't accept because the tradition says so. Don't accept because your teacher says so. It's a very critical one. We need to have that. If you really see at this time when we are closing the session today, we are displaying, or the child is displaying, the characteristics of an anāgami. Yes, Praharsh.
Sir, yes, I was thinking about the response that you made. The anagami is going back to childlike traits, but the child is not conscious of the anagami like traits that he has, while the anagami has consciously, intentionally, after thorough experience of all the bad things also, has now gone back, right? While the child is
Yes,
unconscious.
very good answer. I appreciate your answer. It is far more than this, but I really appreciate. That's a very good way of seeing. Good. I appreciate you. Even after giving so many clues, people did not pick up, but you have picked it up. I appreciate. Very good. Nice. I gave this answer almost, but you're so bound on Buddha Dhamma that you're totally blinded. That's what I can say. Just open it up. Don't have to hold so tight on Buddha Dhamma. You are not going to miss Buddha Dhamma, for sure. But don't take it just because Buddha says so, or the text says so, or that says so, or this says so. No. And one final thought before we leave this place today. Don't get hung up on conceptual words like Nirodha Samapatti, like 8 jhanas, canon anarya, arya, this, that, so many things. These are just conceptual realities. Unless you experience it yourself, it's still a concept. And all concepts are what? Obstacles on the progress. Why? It creates doubts. Nothing else it does. And the second thing it does, restlessness. Worst thing, when doubt and restlessness comes in, it makes your life miserable. So you feel vyapada, which is from a mild irritation to anger to feeling worried or worked up. Worry is kukucha, so you get worried, so you get that. Then you get tons of kamachanda, and which is a cycle. Now you are kamachanda, vyapada, this, that, and ultimately ends up in being thinamida also, because you get brain fog by consistently doing something and you feel tired of it. So you get mental tiredness and bodily tiredness. So all the 5 hindrances which you think you should let go of comes into existence because either oversimplification of the Buddha Dhamma or making it overly complicated by conceptualization. You should leave both. No overly simplification and no overly complications. Don't complicate it. It's pretty simple thing to see. And don't oversimplify it either. No extremes. That's my humble request to all of you, because you're striving so hard to achieve. I appreciate everybody's viewpoint here, be it from Venugopal or from Praharsh or Bobby or Ariu. And I will be somewhat playing with your words and making myself fighting with you. So don't take it that I'm angry or upset or whatever with you. Just what I can say, just like a movie, just try to play around. So don't take it that I'm really angry with anyone or anything. I don't feel anything. But I will just give back in this, just to cut that person from getting into wrong understanding. That's the whole idea what I have. But I don't have any ill will towards anyone. Just want to say, especially for Venugopal, he was shaken up. So I'm just trying to say that's not my nature to do so. And I do with many people, like even Ari has seen it or Bobby knows it. So I think Venugopal is a new person who has not seen it, so he might be feeling very different. But that's what I do. Anyway, good show. And Veena, I appreciate you keep on putting from scriptural references. I only request, relax, enjoy the ride. Don't worry about anything. Take it cool. You'll be there. Any other question before we close? So tomorrow when you come with an open mind. I'll definitely give the sutta reference. And when you read it, it makes it more lively and easy to understand. So I didn't give the sutta for one reason, that it's a very complicated one on anāgami. And I don't think so any one of you sitting here is an anāgami. So it becomes pretty dry without these kind of discussion and fights. And then you're good. Any question, final words from anyone? Mangala, any kind of advice on amygdala?
I think the basic things you have mentioned very often in your in your discourses, and getting too deep into it will just complicate matters. It's enough to say that the amygdala is the center of all these emotions, and now in fact the recent discussion is that they are showing the blood circulation of the thalamus also increases.
Yes, absolutely.
But those are things that it doesn't to this group. I don't think it will matter. But yes, very important thing is now they have found that your behavior, your thoughts, your emotions is they rule your autonomic nervous system.
Correct.
And the autonomic nervous system has not been investigated in the full detail to cause disease. Now they put up things like the vagus nerve and the autonomic and the sympathetic load on the body, and these are things that can be like the sakushal nikalna, and the spirituality, the way you think, the stillness, all this is making a difference, and which is lost by Ayurveda, because we were hurt as a country, we were ruled as a country, and we've lost a lot of Ayurveda and homeopathy. And allopathy is a very recent, it's a very recent and a very dominating discipline, which needs to be modified, I feel, and now they are coming with the autonomic causes of disease, like all this lifestyle diseases. Now they call it lifestyle diseases, and NCD, that is non-communicable diseases. These are taking a very big toll. So we have a very, very ancient culture, and we've investigated ourselves, and we need to stress on this fact very scientifically. We need to stress, and we need to come back to the world and give them what we have, and in fact have it for ourselves. And that is what is, they call it spirituality, but it's a science, I feel,
No, it's
with all
science.
these what they have done now in allopathy is, they were sidetracked. See, it wasn't the same 40 years ago when I became a doctor. Things were very different. Now it has been, sabotaged by the wealthy people and the pharmaceuticals and the corporates. So we are moving far away from spirituality, and that is not good for humanity. That is my take on things. That's a very personal view. It's not verified, and but I feel very strongly about this, and I'm very glad that I can exhibit it at this forum, and in this forum at least, and
Thank you.
we need to go back to our culture and our our knowledge is so deep, and we have, I mean, you are doing a very, very wonderful job. Thank you.
Sure. Before I close, one thing for all of you: there are parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system will do rest and digest. Basically, that's a function of that. And a sympathetic nervous system is for flight and fight. Generally, when we say I'm doing the 10 immoral deeds, it's for flight and fight. Okay, that's what it is. So if somebody would like to do some research on vagus nerves, it's a very, it connects almost the entire body, and they're trying to find out how it functions and all that. But yes, sir, you even have to drop soon, another 5 minutes more at the max. And then on the other side of equation is this parasympathetic nervous system, which will bypass the default mode network. That means it will transcend, because you're cool. One is heating up and one is cooling. Okay, heating up is out of fear, and cooling down is when you let go of fear, when you let go of insecurity. Basically, all of us are insecure. So once you are secured, why you have to adopt Buddha Dhamma is that it gives you security. Basically, that's exactly what it is. So when you're secure, you're secured of not going to the apayas, you feel happy. When you are secured of not coming back to the womb, when you're secured of not coming at all in any existence, that ends the journey. So basically, that's what forms the parasympathetic nervous system. So the more balanced you have between a sympathetic and parasympathetic, you will not always have parasympathetic, it doesn't work that way. So you get a balance. When you have a balance between the sympathetic drive and the parasympathetic drive, the sympathetic drive will only look at the survival instinct, and the parasympathetic goes beyond survival. You require survival. That's the reason Buddha talks about paccavekkhana. That's sympathetic. Just for that, food, shelter, clothing, medicine. That's it. That's sympathetic. So you have to have sympathetic nervous system, and you should have parasympathetic. With that, I will end for today's session. Good one. Thanks everyone for their contribution and fighting with me or whatever, arguing with me. I appreciate more and more arguments from you so that we get to the truth. And I appreciate Bobby for being so kind of arguing for more than a year plus now. Appreciate whatever he's doing for me. It's good. And thanks to Mangala that we have one Mangala here who is a doctor, and she is into neurosciences, which really helps in looking at how brain and mind works. Yes, Anusha?
No, nothing. Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai, good day and good afternoon, Ariu, and see you tomorrow.